my name is Ethan, and this is my story.
So September 2nd of 2007, I had hit my 24-week mark of pregnancy. We were expecting a baby boy who we'd already named Ethan. And the morning of September 2nd, I woke up to fluid trickling down my leg. So we were advised to go to the hospital right away, which we did about 6 o'clock that morning. We got there, we were rushed into the labor and delivery unit, and a doctor came in, examined me, and she had confirmed the worst, that my placenta had ruptured and we lost all the amniotic fluid, so it was basically just a baby. But she let us know that it didn't look good, and she kept apologizing and saying how sorry she was.
She was just saying that if he was born at 24 weeks, he was going to have all these difficulties. He could be crippled, blind, and just a bunch of problems. And that's when it really sunk in what kind of situation we were in and how serious it was. Because at that point, we didn't know how serious it was going to be. But yeah, it really hit home at that point.
They pretty much recommended that we abort the pregnancy at that point. They said, we'd be back in a couple hours, we can take care of it. And we sat there thinking like, wow. Like, to take care of it, like it was a problem, not worth trying to fight for. And I looked at my husband at the time and I said, what are you thinking? And he said, they gave us a 20% chance of him surviving, and he said that's more than enough. So 1 week went by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks went by, and I was still holding on to Ethan. So it was October 10th of 2007, 10 years from today, when I finally went into labor. And he weighed 3 pounds, 2 ounces, and 17 and a half inches long. He was a lot bigger than a lot of people had thought. And about 3 hours later, they brought him back in an incubator. He was on life support, 100% oxygen, not able to breathe on his own. And that was probably the hardest part out of the whole ordeal that we went through. About a month after he was still in the hospital, they said that Ethan had a simian crease on his hand. It's a straight line that goes through your palm. And 97% of individuals with that simian crease are positive for Down syndrome. They went on to say that the bridge on his nose was flat, that his tongue was too big for his mouth, he had a big gap in between his toes, and that those were all indications that he had Down syndrome.
We were kind of numb at that point and just put our trust in God, and whatever he had planned, we were going to deal with it. The doctor said that, it was a 97% chance that Ethan was going to have some type of syndrome.
They ran a baby screening test that tested for all genetic abnormalities in infants, and they all came back negative. January the 11th, 2008, we were able to bring Ethan home about 3 months after he'd been born. And he came home without oxygen. He came home breathing on his own, eating on his own. He learned to walk like every other kid. The only thing he struggles with today is asthma as a result. He's ahead in reading. No disabilities whatsoever. Ethan is just so full of life, and his love for Jesus is contagious. He is constantly inviting everybody to church. And had we chosen to give up and listen to what may have been, Ethan wouldn't be living the life he is today.
A lot of people, they think the easy way out is, having an abortion and just wiping the slate clean. And they think if they do that, then they're just going to move forward and things are going to be wiped clean and they're not going to have any problems because it's going to be in the past. but it's not true. It's always going to be with you, and you know, like, it can really haunt you the rest of your life. So, you know, I definitely encourage mothers that hang on to their baby, you know, even if you have to give it up for adoption, you know.
I look back on it now and realize that everything we went through, there was a purpose for that. And I feel like 10 years has gone by, and it's time to share our story and to give people hope and faith that you may be facing a difficult decision. You know, do you choose life? And absolutely. To anyone who has had an abortion, who has had a hard time forgiving yourself and still struggle with it today, because I know individuals who still struggle with it today. Just know that you're forgiven. God has already forgiven you, and you need to forgive yourself and use your voice. Speak up for those that don't have a voice. Use your story to maybe save a life.